Hey, good morning, everyone. How are you? It's a beautiful week, beautiful day, beautiful people. Looking outside if you're wondering what's going on. Samir, you're the first one on. Let me know you can hear me, making sure that everything's okay for my live today. We'll turn up the volume. Can you hear me all right? Let me know. Just give me a yes, I can hear you. That'd be great. Thank you for joining me. Let's see who we got online today, answering some questions. Really excited about being here. Thank you for joining me. Jakey Bakey, let's go ahead and pin up the right stuff. All right, cool. Thank you. That's good to know. Let's post some questions, go live, see who's here with me this morning. Got more and more people coming on. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Shelton, I'd love to go live. Welcome, everybody. We got you. Thank you, Ivan. It really helps me get these people out the way.
Hello,
Hey,
hello.
good morning. How are you?
How are you? I'm fine.
Good. Very good.
Yeah. So I have a question though. I have a question I wanted to ask you since.
Uh huh.
Can you see me?
I can see you. Can you see me?
I can see you quite clearly.
All right, good. What's the question?
Okay. So sorry. Okay, my network went bad. Can you still see me? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still see you. Go ahead and ask the question.
So how are you able to motivate people? Because I'm a mentor, you're my mentor, so I also try to involve myself into therapy and motivational speaking. So I
Yes.
come across
So I
difficulties
think two
because
things.
sometimes
One, I
there's sorry, do you hear me? Can you hear me?
yeah, I heard
Okay,
you.
yeah.
Let me go ahead.
So,
I'm gonna drop you and answer your question. All right. So let me get that so it's easier. So the question is, how do you motivate people? Number one, you need to know and distinguish between motivation and inspiration. Motivation will get you going, but it will also suck your energy dry. It won't last. You can witness that in sporting events all the time. So looking at the difference, inspiration is what I seek. The education of what you're consistently connected to and what your consistent behaviors are in order to effectuate the clearing of that connection, the greater strengthening of that connection. The analogy I've been using is imagine the connection that you have to the sun, and your job is to get rid of as many clouds as you can to get as much of that energy from the sun as you can. The only difference is you're not just a solar panel, you're an appreciating solar battery, a battery that sucks in all that energy from the sun and appreciates it, add value to it, and then clearing the connection this way. That's inspiration. And so to teach people habits are extremely important 7 days a week. And that's what I'm going to teach this Friday. For all those of you, I have a free training. Just come to it on Friday and talk about the habit machine. I want to teach people how to create a habit machine, not just effectuate, diet or, wealth or one thing. I want to teach everyone what that machine looks like and how exactly to effectuate it. But you need to know, number one, the difference between motivation and inspiration, and then teach people the three-step process of inspiration, where inspiration comes from, how do we process inspiration, and how do we give it away. When you can have people work through that process, they will be inspired, not just for a day like motivation or half of a football game like the Atlanta Falcons, but more importantly, for a lifetime. Let's go ahead and take some questions, put them up here. Love to answer anything I can. Jesse, number one, I want to thank you all the time for asking such great questions and helping me out. Hey, Spanky, welcome. What to do when you miss seeing people, friends in person? All righty. Well, uh, this should be a common occurrence even before this. But you've got to have JOMO, not FOMO, right? Have the joy of missing out. Look for the light, the love, and the lessons, and figure out ways that you can connect with friends and family. There's so much technology. So when I talk about JOMO, instead of creating resistance, voids, and shortages and feeling, oh my gosh, I haven't seen my mom, I haven't seen, no, get on FaceTime, on Zoom, on Instagram, on Snapchat, wherever it may be. Thank you, Jake. I'll get my text message pinned up there. Um, uh, so have JOMO, figure out a way to connect, make a list of people you should connect to every day. We have this great time to take inventory of your friends and family that you have JOMO for, and take the joy of missing out and go ahead and connect with the great technologies that we have. This is called the telephone. It has many different capabilities. I've been preaching and teaching toughness in telephone. There are no tough times, they're just tough people. And the telephone is a great way to get through tough times as a tough person. So be tough. All right, great question. But have JOMO, everybody. Let's get to the next question. David, anything to get better at meditation? Having started doing 8 minutes every single day and would have helped. Yep, Jack. Uh, Meditation is personal. There's a variety of different methodologies of meditation. You can use Headspace to get started, several different apps. But know the basis of meditation is receiving and allowing. What am I going to receive without putting analysis or judgments or conditions on it? And what am I going to allow to come to me? How am I going to heighten my awareness? I can only be aware of that which vibrates equal to or less than me, and therefore I want to increase my frequency, my vibration. I want to know more and more. What motivated me to start meditating was my coach, Dr. Sangeeta Sahi, my guru, was not interested in meditation. I wouldn't even breathe through my nose and out through my mouth. I won't even take the 6 breaths of Buddha. And she said, but I can raise your awareness. And I wasn't interested in that until she said, what about raising your awareness of when to buy or sell? Now you got me. Thank you, India. Thank you all for joining me. That's terrific. Looking forward to it. Let's take another question. How do you work daily with negative minds at work? Well, that'll always be around you. I look for 2 things in negative minds. 1, understanding, and 2, I pray for their happiness, right? So that's part of this 3-step process of clearing the connection. 1, I have to learn and understand, because a lot of times what may appear to be negative isn't at all. In fact, it's an opportunity for us to learn. It's an opportunity for us to give. It's an opportunity for us to create acceleration and growth. But if we can't, then we go to praying for their happiness. So sometimes people are just projecting negativity because they're not happy. You can't give what you don't have. So if somebody is having attacking thoughts and attacking you or attacking other people, separation, inferiority, superiority, they're just projecting what's inside of you. What happens in compressed uncertainty, like we are right now in a compressed time of uncertainty, accelerated change, all of these different things that happen in isolation, some of us, it's like squeezing a lemon. And when you squeeze a lemon juice comes out. And so we start to see what we have inside of us and what lessons we need to learn. Remember, if you have pain, emotional, physical, any type of pain, spiritual pain, you have a lesson to learn. And the pain will go away when you learn the lesson. It's that simple. Very, very good. How do you inspire people when things don't work out for you? Everything always works out for me. And it should for you. Sooner or later, everything always works out. I'm in the middle of a miracle at all times, and everything always works out. It's just may not work out within the time frame in which I hoped or the plan in which I hope to get there, but everything will work out. And I always think it will work out for the better. All negative, positive, all energies push me to something better or bettering the situation I'm in. So go ahead, let me know if you want to join me. We'll see who's here. A lot of people on the list. Let's see here. Thank you, Jessica. Thank you, Joe. Thank you for joining. That was an awesome answer. Thank
Hello,
you.
sir.
Hi, how are you?
Hello, sir. I'm from India.
I can see that. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you?
Good, good. What question you got for me?
Sir, I'm a fitness trainer in India. Because of this lockdown, all of the businesses have shut down, sir.
Yes, I totally understand.
So, yeah, so I'm trying to train online, sir. So, getting very less clients.
Yeah.
That's the main problem.
Oh, you want to know how to get more clients?
Yes, yes. And it's been a very, 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 very long time. I have been watching all your videos from a very long time. I am a very big fan of you, sir.
Well, thank you for joining me. So, look, what we have to do is detach our emotions from the outcome, which includes expectation. So, what we can do is create room for what we want. And so, what we want to do is make sure that we are helping as many people as we can. I'm getting feedback. I'm gonna go ahead and drop here so I can answer your question. Uh, so, what we want to do is go ahead and give as much as we can, contact people uh, on the phone, via email and media, radio, print, TV, and social media, and provide value and allow and make room for what we want. If you're an online trainer, there should be double the opportunities. So let's make sure that we have quality content, that we're sending out a strong signal of what value we have to the right spectrum of people that are available to what we are doing, and have a very clear message of value, quantitative value, not subjective value. So the problem with subjective value is that we can help people and give meaning to everything that we see as well as they see. And so subjective value does not have the stable value that quantitative value, where numbers, time, all sit. And so work from that context. Let's see who else here is going live. Get another question. How do you get more comfortable with raising your prices? That's easy. When you raise your prices, you better raise your value. So it's a practice. You know, my system with executive coaching and other things I do is simply I have to guarantee value, quantitative value. I don't lock anybody into anything. I give guarantees, only work month to month, and I guarantee value. So every month someone says, man, that was valuable, and I can raise my prices as high as I want because you can't see any reason that you wouldn't want to do business with me. And working from that context, you could raise your prices every day if you could, as long as you can guarantee profitability and value. So that's easy. Most people have a problem. They don't feel worthy enough and they can't articulate quantitative value. They're stuck in the subjective value. And because they give meaning to everything they see, they don't give enough meaning or worth to what they see. What important things do you wish you knew when you were younger? Radical humility and everything in the context of that, practicing ending fear. The 5 things just to review. Oh, there's my light. 5 things for review. I wish I knew to take inventory of my values. I wish I knew to ask and attract, to ask a series of questions of how I can provide service or value, and ask a series of questions from sponsors and power sponsors of, can you help me, or do you know anyone that can help me? I definitely wish I knew to be a student in my calendar, to study what I have planned, what I don't have planned, and sleep. I wish I would do things now when I was young, right? Because if you do things now, 100% of the things get done, which makes a big difference in your life. And then finally, most importantly, radical humility. I wish I would have practiced ending fear. So working from that context. Sir, I have a very critical question. Please take me in live. All right, we'll try. I'm trying to get to everybody. Special guest on the way. All right. Thank you, Jake. I'm looking out for my special guest. Go ahead and let me know what the tagline is for my dear friend, and we'll get there. Let me take another question while I'm waiting. How to improve height complex. I'm not sure what that means, but I'm vertically challenged. So I look for the strength and superpowers in everything. So if you're talking about being vertically challenged because you're short, then look for the strength in that. Look for the superpowers in that. There's so many great things. You know, I spent the majority of my early life wishing I was taller because it helps out on the sports that I was playing. But as I got older, I am so blessed to have a body that fits airplanes and cars and things for traveling. So I found the strength, the love, and the light in that. How do you give advice what you've not experienced? Find mentorship for people who have experienced, right? So when we give advice, then find those sources, be more interested than interesting, seek the information that you want. Remember, we have control of not only what we say, but what we hear. And if we're more interested than interesting and find those people that sit in the situation that we want, we will absolutely be able to provide advice. Grab Shelly's Alice here. Let me get her in here. There we go. Special guest. Here we go. I have it. Thank you, Jake. There she is.
Hey, David. How are you? Good morning.
Good morning. I have to just tell you that your TikTok was my favorite TikTok of the entire weekend. And I can't believe that's the first thing I'm going to start with, but it was awesome. It made my whole weekend.
Oh my God. Well, you inspired it, you and your family. So we decided once we were in the jacuzzi, we might as well be productive and do something.
That is awesome. Well, I am so excited to talk to you as we have Women's Month, and you are the head of Female Quotient, which is one of my favorite organizations for equality for all men, women, and the such. And so you are providing so much valuable information. What are you seeing, Shelley, right now with the excessive and accelerated changes that we have with everyone working at home?
Well, first of all, working at home creates a lot of interesting new challenges. I mean, when you talk about work-life balance and now you're home and you have to manage your children at home and you have to manage your business at home, it becomes, quite challenging. So I think a lot of women that are primary caregivers are figuring out how to multitask on steroids, which we have to do all the time, but how to pivot and use that flexibility to take care of the kids, to be on the phone, to do Zooms, to do IG Live with David Meltzer, of course. And, a lot of women are losing their jobs. So while we had a gap before, I think COVID is going to enhance that and amplify that quite a bit. And then when you look at domestic violence, which is something I'm particularly concerned about right now, it's going through the roof. And so we're talking to a lot of our partners about how can we create refuge for a lot of women to have a place to go in times of need. So this is a very crucial moment for all of us, but for women in particular.
It's interesting because I have, spend a lot of time communicating with so many different people. And obviously half of those people are women, and I live with more women than I do have one son, and just my 3 daughters, my wife, and my niece are all with me. But it's interesting because I see a few things. One, I've had requests on what do I do? I'm being abused. What do I do? Just real quick, because I am not a professional, and my only advice is I know there's places to go. Do not stay in that situation. But, I don't have real resources. Are there resources or a number or something that these women should reach out to? Is there like a general 800 number or something that someone can call?
Listen, there are a lot of people doing wonderful things. In particular, I was just on the phone with Airbnb to see if we can secure some, safety for everyone during these times. And they have been doing a lot in this area, which is really remarkable. Plan USA, Plan International, depending on, what country, is providing a lot of services as well. So, there are solutions. And, I think that, overall, when we look at everything that we need to help with hungry, education, safety, these are all challenges that are now really being magnified, in this moment. So, we're all working together, which is the most important. And when I look at what governments, and states are all doing, I mean, I know Governor Newsom is doing so much in this area as well, especially around the hungry and keeping everyone at home so that we can be safe, and getting millennials to take action as well. I think we all have responsibility, in this time of crisis, and most importantly, getting us all to step up and use our voices and take action. One of the things I talk a lot about is leadership is not about age. It is not about generation. It is not about social class. It's each and every one of us has the power to do something and take responsibility.
Yeah, which is one of my favorite things that I love to share is nothing happens till it moves, and taking action, whether it was working with people in sports and entertainment, and people would ask, why do these athletes go bankrupt? And, it's the apathetic nature of us getting in our own way that, who's going to step up? And I think that leads me to the next thing I wanted to talk to you about is that, when things get compressed like this, I always say the truth, eventually the truth will always come out, right? The truth vibrates the fastest. And when the truth comes out, we get to see people's true value. And we talk about, the female quotient. That quotient is a derivative of the quotient of the universe of everything and everyone.
I
And
love
the
how you said
value
that.
and the
Good.
value, right? And so in that quotient is, okay, what is the true value? And, I think we have a great opportunity not only to take action, but to raise our awareness of the value that everyone plays, and that these values, as you say, are not, specific to a gender. It's the value of education, and what, as humans, what value are we going to place on education, on food, on our environment, on our health, in healthcare system, our financial system, all of these different issues to me. And, I'm living out of a closet and I'm working out of literally a closet. It's a guest room, a closet, an office, and a studio now. And I have really come to appreciate everyone in my home, their value, the things that sometimes go unnoticed. And I think for at least my 3 teenage daughters and hopefully my son, they're learning a new value of what I provide. Uh, and an activity, this do it now. What are some of the lessons that you've learned? You're so exposed to so many different people in so many different situations. What are some of those lessons that you've learned through this period as well?
Well, I want to go back to your values, because I think that that's a really important word. This is a moment in time where they are interconnected values. Each and every one of us alone can't fix the issue. We need to all understand that it's a snowball effect. We all impact each other. So it's not only taking responsibility for ourselves, but it's also taking responsibility for everyone around us. So now we are in a situation where every single person can impact another person. And that's how, we create the cure. It is very codependent. So I think that the codependency has been more important, than ever before, how we are, responsible for one another. Number one. I think also caregiving starts at home, and equality starts at home. So if we want to have equality in the workplace, I think what we're seeing more than ever before, that we're all together in our homes, is how we all need to share the responsibility. And, from cooking to education, it can't be, you can't be relying on one person. And I think that that's a value that we are, starting to see in this time. I mean, for me, I travel every day of the week. I travel like you do. And I'm kind of loving being home. People are like, oh my God, aren't you going stir crazy? I'm like, no, I've never been busier than I've ever been, keeping us socially connected. We talk about social distancing. I actually think it's physical distancing, but we're socially connected. And I think we're more connected than ever before. And I have to say, I love being able to communicate with my team every day through Zoom, and that interaction, and being able to see people personally, not for what they do, but who they are. And when you talked about the apathy, I want to go to the positive. It's the empathy. It's that empathetic, connection that we are all sharing. And I always say business is done with people you like and people you trust. And I think it's creating these relationships that when you're so busy every day, you take them for granted. And this is a pause moment. It's a pause and pivot moment. Pause and smell the roses and appreciate all the things that we have around us, and how every one of us is bringing that value to the table that is necessary. We're all very necessary ingredients in the solution, really.
It's so interesting because I spend every day taking inventory. I'm a big student of my calendar. I believe what you pay attention to and give intention to creates these coincidences. So I take inventory on, all types of things, physical things, emotional things, economic things. I'm taking inventory in that pause so that I can make it better. I've been hopefully inspiring people to be your own chief betterment officer during this period
You
of
got
time.
a chief troublemaker, and now you got a chief betterment officer. I'm the chief troublemaker officer. I like it.
Exactly.
I like it.
Yeah. So, but through taking inventory and raising our awareness, we can see, where we are inefficient. And we, I'm saying the number one thing to take inventory, going back to these personal, experiential, giving and receiving values. And as I'm like you, 200 days a year on the road, taking inventory, I have learned, I may not gross as much income this month, but profit wise has increased exponentially because I've learned so much about the inefficiencies that my ego has created in my life. And the value of certain relationships in my life. And I just got off of one question before you got on, talking about one of the biggest resistances I've had growing up and through my maturity was FOMO. And I think a lot of people are suffering from FOMO, and I've learned to have JOMO, which is the joy of missing out. And I'm taking inventory of the people in my life, and the joy of missing out on some of those people and seeing where my valued relationships are, ones that I have maybe neglected. These relationships really are the core of this unification that's occurring. And you were dancing around that great unification. This one of the things through my inventory that I see my home being more unified, my business being more unified, my city, my state, my country, and the world becoming more unified. How do we help people look to the superpowers and the lessons and the light and the love in this situation? And there seems to be, these divergent groups again, ones that are right in the middle of a miracle and the others that are below the line in blame, shame, and justification. And it'll be interesting, the effect of that. How do you help inspire people to see that light, love, and lessons?
Well, I think you can look at the glass half empty or the glass half full. And one of the things that, we have been doing as a small business, we have 26 people, is pivoting with positivity and pivoting with proactivity. You can look at what's wrong with this situation, or you can look at what's right. And I think that there's always a solution. There's always a silver lining. You just have to find it. And it's not what I can't do, it's what I can do. And it's actually been teaching us so much. I mean, there's so much opportunity. We're more innovative, we're more creative. And when you talk about FOMO or JOMO, I mean, it really is, in my opinion, it's choice and selection. And being surrounded, I always say I hire for passion, I train for skill. Unless you want to be a doctor, a lawyer, an accountant. I think that's a little different. But for me, what I have found, and the joy that I have found, has been being surrounded by a team of passionate people that are yes people. Yes, what can we do? How can we help? How can we support everyone else? Do we need to take a pay cut so that we can keep more of our employees working? Absolutely. And all of our partners. I have to tell you, I am blown away by the love, by the light, by the gratitude of our partners calling. And they're Fortune 500 saying, what can we do to help? How can we help you stay afloat, in this business, because we need you? And I'm so grateful for that. And I think what you find in these truths are the people in your life. Some of my best friends I have met through business today, which is really incredible. And I think it gives you that moment to really look around and say, I want to be surrounded by a team that has passion in their DNA, purpose in their heart, and are just yes people. I don't want to be surrounded by just, great skilled people that don't have those values. And you use that word value at the beginning, and I want to keep using that because it is about that inherent value, and it's about truth, consistency, and we use that word authenticity, but millennials don't really like that word. They don't think it's authentic. And real. I want to be surrounded by real people. And not every moment in life is going to be highs, but if we come together, personal own is power, collectively we have impact. If we come together and look after each other, look after yourself and look after the ones around you, that's where we will see tremendous change and where we'll see tremendous growth. These are our growth moments.
Yeah, and I think you nailed it. There's those three areas people ask me all the time. Well, what should I focus in on? What should I do? And it's those things that you hire for. I always say skills, right? If we're consistently developing our skills, there's no better time to develop your skills than right now. Knowledge, this is not statement to me, knowledge is power. If you're not more interested than interesting, and this period of pausing allows you to acquire knowledge that maybe, you know, I have friends that are learning languages and doing other things. You know, my knowledge has been mostly on the technology side of really exploring how to
Me
utilize
too.
virtual
Still
communication and
learning.
technology. Yeah. But the one thing that we share, what I love, is that, you know, we're blessed to be around some of the greatest thought leaders in the world, some of the greatest executives in the world as well. And the one thing they all share, I had John Scully on last week, who was CEO of Apple and CEO of Pepsi, and he's 81 years old. But what made him just so special, and what I look for, and you have this as well from the time that I met you, is that there's certain people that must be what they can be. And those people find opportunities. They find out how. They always say yes. You know, they are the people. You talk about pivoting. There's a pre-step to pivoting, and I hope people take this lesson. It's one of the best takeaways you'll have from you and I. But you can't pivot if you don't have options. And it takes skills, knowledge, and desire to create those options. And some of the options and pivot opportunities that I'm having right now are because of the work for the last 13 years from 2008, the lessons that I've learned. And I said to myself, I want to have as many options as I can. And this is a great time that if you can't find the right pivot, then start creating the options and opportunities to pivot to by developing skills, acquiring knowledge, and most importantly, cleaning the connection to that which inspires you, so you also can wake up every morning and tell yourself, I must be what I can be, and live to the consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential. Last question, I'm gonna let you go. What inspires you most right now?
Oh, well, I am so inspired right now. And I want to jump onto one of the things you said, because I don't think you find it, I think you make it. And, you know, when you talk about, you know, making your bed, it is true. You got to make it, because no one's going to make it for you. And you never know what's going to stick until you try. If you don't try, you don't know. And I think that that's really important. And, you know, there's something that, you know, you brought up before, which I think is just so important. People talk about their to-do list. That is very routinized. Check, 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 right? You put your checklist together. I think it's a to-be list. Who do you want to be? And what is your legacy? And I think in these moments, we have that ability to push ourselves to the next level. There's a woman that taught me something, you know, that I will never forget, and it's called double yourself. If you keep doing the same things over and over and over again, you're actually going to be quite boring. If you have the same friends and you go to the same restaurants and watch the same movies. But if you always pick a new person to meet, just like you try a new challenge, whether you're good at it or not, it's how you stretch yourself, it's how you innovate, and it's how you stay relevant, and it's how you stay interesting. Double yourself. So what am I inspired by? I am inspired by the opportunities right now to, you know, make each and every one of us better, make myself better, try new things. I am inspired being home and with my family and spending precious moments together. I'm inspired by not feeling like I need to do something, but just zigging and zagging as you know, I feel relevant. And I'm inspired by the goodness that people have in their hearts, and what, you know, having these moments to show and feel. I don't want to say show, feel gratitude. I am feeling so much gratitude and knowing that it is my time to help others as I can. You know, I don't think we can fix the world ourselves, but we all definitely have a part to play.
Well, you're amazing, and I wish I could triple and quadruple you. This world would be a much better place from your own family. I always say, when I am close to one of your sons and admire the other from afar, but apples don't fall far from the trees. I always know what parents' truths are when I meet their children. And oh my gosh, like I said, if I could quadruple you today, I would. The world would be a much better place. I want to thank you for everything that you do. Let me know how I can be of service. I will see you later today, I think.
You absolutely better together. Thank you for having
Thank
me
you,
on.
Shelly's Alice with the female quotient. I got so many comments in there. You could just see the brilliance and the beauty and the kindness that she emits, right? You squeeze a lemon, lemon juice comes out. I think you got a good idea of what's inside of that amazing woman. And that's the beauty of what this does. The truth will always come out. And if you don't like the juice that's coming out, then make the change, right? Say, hey, this is a lesson. I'm scared. I got to practice ending fear. You know, I'm angry. I got to practice ending that. These are the things, the opportunities that this pause can give for us. And just so grateful for the opportunity to have Shelly on. And you can reach out to her in the female quotient. Go ahead. Thank you so much. Jakey Bakey, thank you for setting that up as well. All right, let's get on here. I thought Bubby was going to come on, Jake. What's up? How to come up with complex you have due to your body type, like color, height, and all. How to come up with complex you have due to your body type and color, height, and all. Not quite sure, but I think once again, finding the superpower is within you. Every strength moved to somewhere could be a weakness. Every weakness moved to somewhere else can be a strength. Do you think the truth will come out about COVID? Would it matter? Well, I think this is important about a lot of things. You know, there's so many things that you want to waste time, energy, and emotion on, and look for the outcome. So, will the truth come out about COVID? Yes, I'm sure someday, right? Time is a man-made construct. But what does it matter? Does it matter? What does it matter if, this was proof that one person can change the world by eating a bat? Okay, or the world can be changed because someone, created this in a lab. Okay, I think more importantly, let's focus in on the lessons, the love, and the light that we learn through this to be better, to unify, to develop more skills, to acquire more knowledge, and to enhance our desire to be what we must be. So those are really good. Let's get a couple more questions in here. How do I combat dealing with school while trying to mainly focus on business? Oh God, I love these. Hey Dane, thank you. Look, both. Come on, the legs feed the lion, but you got to challenge yourself. When I get these either or, how do I focus on this and this? You're missing the point. If you're taking your inventory every day of your personal experiential giving and receiving values, and you're doing it 7 days a week, you're taking your vacation 7 days a week, you're working out or your health 7 days a week, your family time 7 days a week, your school time 7 days a week, your family time, and you're finding the light, the joy, the lessons in everything that you do, and you're clearing the clouds that motivate and inspire you so that you feel good about everything you do. You can do both or more than both, right? You can do it. It's just a matter of being consistent and persistent in the pursuit of your potential and take baby steps, but do it every day. All right. That goes to anybody that is doing an either or type of thing, a dance. Any micro habits that help with keeping the big ones. Yeah, I'm going to go over these in a lot more detail in training this Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time, California time, Road to Revenue, the habit machine. I am more concerned about the micro habits to create a habit machine. What's a habit machine? A habit machine is your own conscious, subconscious, and unconscious continuum that allows you rapidly and accurately to develop the habits that you want in order to effectuate what you want. All right, it's like a machine. So I want to lose weight, boom. I want to stop smoking, boom. I want to make more money, boom. What are those? And I will tell you the micro habits, just to give you a little prelude, are understanding how to enjoy the 4 things that I control in order to effectuate consistent every day, and understanding why consistency in that continuum is so important. Persistency, how is that evolved? What does that mean with the desire to be what you must be combined with the consistent behavior and other micro habits in order to effectuate the habit machine? Enjoying the consistent, persistent pursuit. And what does that mean to pursuit? How we have the 4 controls of mindset, feelings, what we say and hear, and what we do. How do those 4 things effectuate our pursuit? And what does that look like with options and pivot and all of those things? And then finally, our potential, which could be a whole training by itself, the truth, our potential, and knowing the possibility, probability, and materialization of the perspective that we want, or reality that we have. All of those things are going to be dealt with in building and dealing with a habit machine. But if you are going to start with the micro habit, pick one thing, try to do it every day. I suggest you pick gratitude. Learn to say thank you every single day. If you can say thank you before you go to bed and when you wake up, that's the number one micro habit of the foundation for the habit machine. So it takes 0.1 seconds. Say it before you go to bed and when you wake up. Do you trust Bill Gates? It's so good. All these questions are so good. Do I trust Bill Gates? I trust certain things he says, that he has credibility, my emotional attachment, and he can quantify the reasons, impacts, and capabilities of what he's saying. Like anyone else, he's human, and you cannot trust 100%. If somebody's 100% credible, man, are they lucky. But I haven't met that person, and I'm not that person. So, seek advice, options, more information to determine stable data from anyone. I trust Bill Gates' intentions. And I hope you trust my intentions, and I hope to trust yours. Meaning his intentions are to help the world. I really believe that. And I believe that everything he does is not aligned with his intentions, the same way that everything I do is not always aligned with my intentions as well. Just like Adam, everything that you do, I'm sure, is not aligned with your intentions, but I trust your intentions. All right. Let's go and grab someone live real quick. Again, got a few more moments of time. Woo! Look at here. What's your view on grapefruit juice? Same thing, man. When you squeeze a grapefruit juice comes out. I love grapefruit juice. It's one of the only juices that takes more calories to burn than it has. Just all these Cliff Clavin facts for you, by the way. I'm trying to see who we got here. Add who you can. We'll try to get one more guest on here. So many of you, thank you so much. Don't forget to join me on Fridays, Instagram, 8 a.m. every day, LinkedIn Live at 3. Good morning. Is that a
David, how
shirt?
you doing?
All right, you won me over. I like your shirt.
Hey, thank you, sir. I don't know if you read my email, but I sent you an email. Sort of just in between of things. I got a security company with my dad. We just started. And I've been in the cannabis industry for about 3 years now. I have a real passion for it. I like it. We're scaling. We're getting into the tech side of things. And, cannabis is just looked at a little differently, my dad, he was a cop for 30 years, but he likes it. He sees the good in it. He doesn't consume it or anything like that. But the brand's called Inspire. And I don't know. I just really want to, expand. I'm an entrepreneur. I just finished Sacramento State. I graduated my entrepreneurship degree. So sort of seeing where to go. I want to do more. I want to inspire people. I want to be a bright light, but like I know for like a living, I could do the security company for the rest of my life, but just like, do I do more, it's just where I'm at.
You got it. So Spencer, like I said, more than happy to help mentor in these situations and others. But the main thing is, let's figure out utilizing the 5 things that I teach, from knowing your values, personal, experiential, giving and receiving, asking the necessary questions of people, sponsors and power sponsors, of how you could be of service and how they can help you. But this is really a situation of finding time to do both, right? Both. Yeah. The legs feed the lion. You got no pun intended. You got a secure business in the security 100%. Business, and it leads to owning the customer. And as you own that customer, you can evolve and do a solar business, interior construction, a variety of other things by owning that database, by being of service to all those great people, because you're in their homes providing them security that gives you great benefit. But beyond that, there's plenty of time to do both, right? There's plenty of time to do both. And
that's what I'm finding.
Let's study the things you have planned, the things you don't have planned, the white space in your calendar, and then let's figure out who can help you. So I got your email. Please join me on Friday. Let's continue to work together. I'm trying to figure out as well, I can't help everyone one-on-one. So I'm thinking about doing some group coaching as well because a lot of issues. So I'm gonna make sure you get all that information. Okay.
All right, cool. And also, if your clients or if you and your family ever need executive services, like I said, we offer great things. We drive you guys around. We have all armed ex-law enforcement and everything. We've worked with some big athletes, so we'd love to make your life easier, your clients' life easier, and make them feel safe. Thanks,
You
David, for
got it.
everything you do.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Go
it. I'm gonna
Bolts.
keep tapping in.
Appreciate
I
you.
love the knowledge that you're sharing me. So have a great one.
Thanks, brother. Go Bolts. I saw that, Alex. I saw that on there as well. I'm a huge Charger fan, and you can hold that against me, by the way, and a Padres fan. Anyways, we got a minute here. Let me answer one more question and look forward to Friday every day. Instagram, 8 a.m. Pacific time, LinkedIn, 3 p.m. Pacific time. Always here to be of service and of help. How do you hold yourself and your partners accountable? Okay. One, you can hold yourself accountable and you can be an accountability partner of others. So number one, you can't give what you don't have. Always look, and to be accountable, we only have to know two questions. What did I do to attract this to my life? What did I do to attract this to my life? And two, what am I supposed to learn from it? That is accountability. Now, if you have a social contract with somebody to hold somebody accountable, that's not going to happen, right? Even your kids aren't going to buy in for that. But if you get somebody to agree to be an accountability partner of yours, where mutually you can help each other be accountable by what? Explaining and understanding what they did to attract something to themselves, sharing that perspective and giving them meaning to subjective value so that they can learn the lessons of what has been attracted into their life. Understand the distinction and the difference in accountability. That's a really good one to end on. Well, I hope everyone stays accountable today. Enjoy your day. We'll be 3 p.m. LinkedIn Live this afternoon every day. But most importantly, join me, invite friends, family, and associates. Free training on Friday, 11 a.m. Pacific time. That's California time, 11 a.m. We have had just an enormous amount of goodwill and understanding, accountability, gratitude, forgiveness, and inspiration occur. Let's continue it. Remember, everyone, be kind to your future self and do good deeds. Thanks.